Right, hello everyone. Today we are going to be talking about the Tokyo 1600 meters champions meet. This is a follow-up to the previous video because I made a very significant mistake there, so I would like to get ahead of it if I can. Basically, the error that I made in the previous video was assuming that louder, Tracen, cheer was a condition fully rather than a precondition plus a condition. For those of you who do not understand the context and you did not watch the previous video, basically on the Tokyo 1600 meters champions meet, it is a matter of end closers versus front runners. Front runners will make the gap very big and then maintain the front and hopefully block the end closers with their bodies and will be able to win just by maintaining that big lead as per usual, while end closers need to use that 500 meters long final straight in order to go and duel someone in order to get a lot of extra speed and then defeat their enemies with this. One of the relevant uniques for the end closers in that CM is the louder, Tracen, cheer unique, but because in that video I mentioned that uniques like Nemesis and Anchors Away would disable it, that is wrong. Right? The skills that would disable this skill are the early to early mid leg speed skills. Those are the ones that will be the big problem for this skill, not the Nemesis, not the Anchors Away. Right? So does this change really the logic of what you want to go and use with this louder, Tracen, cheer? It does, basically. Taishin, for example, can use louder, Tracen, cheer as her Nemesis will not make her go too much in front. But what might make her go too much in front are other early mid-leg skills, such as your Daring Strike, such as your Uma Stand. Anyway, louder, Tracen, cheer is a precondition where if you, in the first 50%, stay in the second half of the pack, so 6, 7, 8, 9 basically, you'll be able to get this unique to activate, but you also must not get rushed. Right, and then after that you activate it on the straight line and that will give you your 0.2 XL or your 0.4 XL if you're using the horse, exactly. So that is the problem with louder, Tracen, cheer. It has a pretty strict positioning requirement for end closing, right? Because a lot of end closers now, they manage to pull their Mr. CB or they can just borrow it. Then they have access to Ghost Ship, who also has Uma Stand innately, and some of them do not understand what Uma Stand does, so they just buy it anyway. And if they do buy Uma Stand on their Ghost Ships, then what happens is that Ghost Ships will ends up going all the way in front in a very backliner focused lobby, and that might push them to 5th, to 4th, to 3rd maybe, depending on how many front runners there are, how many pace chasers there are, so on and so forth. Right, so if the lobby is too backliner loaded, then this Uma Stand could kill your horse in terms of getting that +1 XL. So that is a problem that everyone who wants to use this louder, Tracen, cheer will have to deal with. It's not exactly the most consistent unique. So those are the risks for playing louder, Tracen, cheer. Unfortunately, there's no really good way to kind of make yourself better for each way of play. Right, for the Cheerleader King Halo, you can like choose to not buy Uma Stand, that one is like whatever, right? But then saying to not buy Daring Strike is a little bit too sussy, right? Or not buying your medium corners, or not buying your playtimes, or not buying your ramp up, because those can activate there, you know, like it can help you win significantly. Those are literal lengths that you are buying. So if you accidentally activate all 3 or 4 of them early on, then shit, you will probably go too much in front and you will die. But your horse will be in such a good position that it's still a positive gain in length. You just lose the extra 0.2 XL over here, right? Which is also going to hurt you in the finishing acceleration phase of the game. Right, so it's just a case of risk and reward. What lobbies do you intend to see? What horses do you intend to see? So it's just going to be a coin flip what kind of lobby you're going to get and whether you can get your unique to go and activate in those lobbies. Right, coin flip gaming, guys. Right, the other thing that I want to mention in this video is about the front runners. For the front runners, one thing that chat has been talking to me about is MooMooCows. Should I try to get Speed Eater? And now that I've looked at it again, yes, you should try to get Speed Eater on every single one of your horses, because notably there are 2 horses that have it innately. Your V-Bourbon with the Speed Eater is very, very easy to make, and notably can get the Speed Eater from a costume event called Not Found, which can be very, very good. Right, so that's already +1 source of Speed Eater. But if you are going to buy Speed Eater, I highly recommend you to buy it on every single character if you can. Right, so that would basically kind of force you to basically hunt it down for any other front runner that you're using, or have 2 other fronts that have it innately. That is notably going to be Marzenski Summer. Marzenski Summer does have Speed Eater innately built inside of her, so if you are going to run her, you should try to get Speed Eater on this horse as well. And then the last horse is a bit more sassy, is the Ines Fujin horse. Ines Fujin, not super popular, especially when I was doing the banner pulls for her. But basically for Ines Fujin, she does have Speed Eater inbuilt into her, and she does like Tokyo. So this is one of those tracks where she's pretty damn okay at, right? But yeah, you basically can use her to have innate Speed Eater. You don't even need to make her that strong to win. You can just kind of use her as an extra Speed Eater horse. And this third front runner can help to basically make sure your horses are always fighting each other for the first position and going really, really fast and making the gap really big. And then after that, all of you trigger triple Speed Eater. Because when you stack this Speed Eater, you get a 0.15 plus another 0.15 plus another 0.15 to nuke all the enemies behind you for 0.45 in total. Right, so that is the power of the Speed Eater over here, and you basically can go and nuke all the enemies behind you with this triple frontrunner debuffer-ish comp. But thankfully, Speed Eater is also a speed skill for yourself. Right, Speed Eater is a cheating skill. It gives you a 0.15 speed and also nukes all enemies behind you. So if you can buy it, you should. But the less you buy, the less useful it will be, because it only hits for 0.15 speed. Not significant enough to really kill people, but once you get 0.3 and 0.4, it can actually kill people quite well. Right, so if you are going to go that route, go ahead. Really, just buy triple Speed Eater on all of your horses for the front position as much as possible and try to nuke all the horses behind you. But notably, those are the only ones that are the easiest, and if you don't have those horses, you kind of need to hunt it down from mile sparks or like from your parents, or from racing on the mile races during Make a New Track and then praying for it to appear. It's not impossible, it can appear, but it's just going to be a little bit trickier for certain horses. Alright, so you just see for yourself if you have the willpower to even continue. The accelerator schedule is burning out a lot of people, and Ment has already culled like half of my population. If you go and check the data website, you can see it for yourself. We lost like half of the audience already. Right, so we already know that even in the sweatier side of Umamusume, many people have already dumped this game or are chilling this game or don't want to participate competitively in this game already. I have friends who already say, I don't want to do any CMs because I hate Make a New Track. I just wait for Grand Life. Okay, sure. Right, I also have friends who just straight up quit because they just hate Make a New Track, or they just got bored of Umamusume already. Right, so whatever the case is, right, just don't burn yourself out when you're doing these kinds of CM stuff here. Right, if you're trying to optimize, try to optimize as much as possible, but as long as you have 1 or 2 good aces, your A finals is basically guaranteed already. Right, so that's it guys for this video. Thanks for watching. Any further questions, please go through my Discord. The community is much more knowledgeable than me and have plenty more time than me to go and play this game. And you also have the Twitch and YouTube live streams. The community there is also very good. And if you need to direct message me, you can go ahead and use the Ko-fi DMs, and then after that I will try my best to answer your question to the best of my ability. So that's it guys, thanks for watching, and hopefully this has helped to address the issues in the previous video. Bye bye.